Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe in what is possible for your life. In today's episode, I have the great honor to bring Joanne King back with me again so we can finish up our conversation that we started last week. And just a reminder of who Joanne is. Joanne lives on the island of Maui. She has a master's of arts degree in counseling psychology, and she works as a counselor in psychology. She focuses on health and wellness and has a foundational and advanced training in mindfulness. Joanne also has a wonderful program that she has developed that is called Ditch the Diet for Life, which is a mindful eating program. So we're going to talk about that also. But right now, welcome, Joanne. Thank you so much for coming back on the show again.
Oh, my pleasure, Nada. I'm so happy to be here talking with you. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, for me too. I love it. So thank you. Thank you. So Joanne, when we were finishing up last week, we were talking about, you were giving examples on challenging your beliefs. And you were saying to take those beliefs and put them in a suitcase, imagine those beliefs and put them in a suitcase, those that don't serve you anymore, and give those back to the people that gave it to you. Thank you very much. They no longer serve you. The question that I have for you is, how does that work around your mindful eating program? How do you get that to tie together?
So our beliefs are what construct our reality, right? Because so you have a belief, and then what happens is it actually comes into reality. You create that by, and I think the example I used last week was about how one of my clients had the belief that when women get older, they gain weight and then they lose their teeth. And so neither of those are true. First of all, if you brush and floss your teeth and see your dentist regularly, you're not going to lose your teeth. You can go all the way until you pass on with all of your teeth. So that's an important concept to know. And then as far as weight gain, if you take care of yourself and you move every day and you eat foods that you believe are healthy, you will not gain weight.
Right. Yes. Yes. And how do you tie together, or not tie together, how would you differentiate? Because your program on Ditch the Diet for Life, you call that mindful eating. And I'm wondering, how do you distinguish mindset from mindful?
So mindset has to do with your beliefs, right? And mindful eating is about awareness in the present moment of what you're eating using your five senses, right? Your sense of smell, your sight, your taste, your texture, and even hearing. So when you can mindfully eat using all of your senses and being present in the moment, most of the time you may not eat as much as you would because you are so present.
Right. And I love how you can tie these together with mindset being the beliefs. And if I believe it's not, if I've had that belief and I no longer now have that belief because I've worked with you And I know that it's not true that I'm going to gain weight when I hit my 50s and 60s, or I'm going to lose my teeth. But that's not me that had that belief. I'm using that as an example. I have other weird beliefs.
Right.
That's not one of them. but but
Right, right.
when we can shift that belief, and so then when you do sit down to have a meal and you're mindful and present at that time, how powerful that is, because the food then nourishes you. It's no longer this enemy, because I mean, it feels like that at times. If I am eating something that, I think it's okay to treat ourselves. We just can't treat ourselves at every single meal. But I think it's okay to have that chocolate, or to have that ice cream, or to have that thing. But if my belief is in alignment with what is empowering for me, and when I sit down to have that meal and I'm present, I'm mindful with that meal, how powerful that is for the cells inside of my body to know that they are receiving nourishment, that it's not just this meal that I'm shoving in because I'm starving and I have to eat dinner. It's a whole, it's a feeling. What's the word I'm looking for? It's different. You're just in a completely different state. You're physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually in a different state when you sit down to eat like that. That energy is so powerful.
Yes, yes, it is. And it centers around beliefs. And so I want you to think about friends that you might have that you go out to lunch or dinner with, and they eat everything in sight and they're thin as a rail.
Right.
How could that be? How can that be? It's because of their beliefs. It goes back to what they truly believe. And so when I talk about beliefs like this, it has to be beliefs you really believe on a very deep level. And I like to use the example of the belief that you are a woman, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And you know that think about how deep a level you believe that. Is that correct?
Yes, completely. 100%. To my core, I believe that.
Right. And so when you have a belief, that's how you need your beliefs to be. You need to believe them on that deep level. Like, I can eat anything and I will not gain weight. Now, if you have any kind of trepidation in that, then that's a problem, right? So you have to really believe it. And the first part of this is really accepting yourself where you are. And so even if your body isn't exactly how you want it, when you accept yourself as you are, that's when you can begin to change. But you have to accept yourself where you are. You can't be fighting your body. Your body has an innate intelligence. Like you said, we have 70 trillion cells in our body, and each cell has what I call an innate intelligence. It has a nucleus, it has a brain, and it can hear you, not hear like perhaps we think of hearing, but it is connected to your brain, and it can hear the things that you're thinking, the things that you're saying in your mind.
Right.
So it's all about going back to mindset again, changing those core beliefs. And sometimes what really helps clients is being able to visualizing and believing, I can get to this body that I want. I can get to this healthy body. And then it's about changing how you eat, what you eat, when you eat, how much you eat. All of this comes into play in the program.
Right. And the visualizing has been tested, scientifically tested and proven that when somebody is visualizing something, whether it's how their body looks, how they're eating, how they feel about life, if they're an athlete, how they're performing. And when they are visualizing, the body doesn't know if that is actually happening or if you are just perceiving it. So I want the listeners to know how important that is, that when we visualize, we're using this imagination. It's one of your intellectual faculties that we have. It's invisible. There's not a place in the brain that you can go to and say, well, I'm going to take out my imagination, or I'm going to take out my visualizing factor. We can't do that. But science knows that these 70 trillion cells inside of us have no idea, is this actually happening, or is she just perceiving that? The body takes it on as absolute truth. So that visualization is so powerful. It's enormously powerful.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because that is so true. And they're learning so much, and the science is just so progressing so rapidly, right? And so I believe that the only way to succeed at having your ideal weight is to have the ideal mindset. So we go back again to the mindset and the beliefs, and changing those core beliefs to fit with what you want in your life. This is about you and your core beliefs.
Right. And this is why your program is so powerful, the Ditch the Diet for Life, because it's not a diet. It's not eat this, don't eat that. It is the mindfulness, and it's the mindset. And that is what makes it so powerful. I believe I went through your course. It's a powerful course. It's beautiful. And it works. That's the best part, because it can be the best course in the entire world, but I didn't get any results. Absolutely got results. Love it. So I find it I think this is the first program that I've ever seen that has anything to do with dieting or weight loss, body image, that really incorporates the core values of mindset and mindfulness. Can you tell me how that plays into your whole program, those two factors, mindset and mindfulness?
So it's all about, again, your core beliefs. What do you believe? And then becoming present and being here and being now. But it's also about, too, it's about learning why people overeat. So it's not just mindset and mindfulness. I mean, that's a huge component of the program. But we also have to look at, why do people overeat? A lot of times people have anxiety. And so it's anxiety that causes overeating. Overeating is actually an emotional act.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But and then there's different types of overeaters. We have emotional overeaters. We have angry overeaters, destructive overeaters, habitual overeaters, ignorant overeaters, and addictive overeaters. So in the program, we actually help people to understand how to change those types of habits by choosing a better way that works for them. Because again, it's all about the person. This is not a one size fits all diet. Like, it's not eat this, this, and this, and this, or eat like me. No, everyone is different. And I encourage people to eat the food they love, but they have to change their beliefs. So if they want a Krispy Kreme donut, I want you to enjoy every single bite. Don't consider the calories. Just consider how much you love it and enjoy it. And your body will process it properly. That's the innate intelligence of the body.
Absolutely. And in your program, people have to be discovering their own personal empowerment in all of the other aspects of their life, not just around their nutrition and their body image and just eating, but this has to flow into how they show up in life, how they show up at work, how they show up in a conversation, maybe a conversation that I don't want to call it a conflict, but maybe a disagreement, how they show up when somebody has been maybe rude to them. It has to overflow into every other aspect of their life. It's not just the food. And that is what I love about your program, because it encompasses everything about the person. It's full spectrum.
It is. And it's all about you. There's nothing that happens